Time for our pits and peaks from the week. Tom is here. Tom, we're going to start with peaks altogether.
Peaks.
Who's going first?
You're going.
Will I lead it us off this week?
Come on, you first. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Peak this week.
Your return, obviously. Oh, and I haven't seen you since the Mayo thing.
It's true, actually. I basically got lost in Castlebar for the last 10 days. That's where I've been.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went
At the bottom of a medium.
Has anything happened since then? No.
Nah.
I saw Nathan was giving out about Mayo again last week. That's my thing, Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm back. It's not a pit or a peak regarding Mayo this weekend. They've been quiet
So far.
There might be a few
bubbling to the top.
Yeah, there's something coming.
The parapet might be looking around and a few heads might pop up over the next 24, 48 hours. My peak is Romford FC. Now, why Romford FC? Well, they've had an interesting week, which culminated last week. Glenn Tamplin, who's got his own Wikipedia page, check him out. You'd love it. He bought the club last week. He subsequently sacked the manager immediately and the entire backroom staff. He then installed a new management team. But wait, he was part of the new management team. He was the new manager of the team he had just bought. He then bought 18 new players. He still plans to hire way more. And announced that their match under his new ownership will be free, their first match that is, plus you get a free drink. But they've got too many players, so what he did was he told 12 players that they're sacked immediately. He was asked in the article we just brought up there, Essex Live I think it was, that I explained to the players that on time for me is half an hour early, so punctuality was an issue for these players. The fact that some didn't turn up on time was enough for him to dismiss them. It's weakened the team, but I'm a man of morals. I don't like barking, I like biting. I bark once and then I bite. First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. So he's brought in huge standards, high standards, and they were playing at the weekends against Coggeshall Town. Bit of a shambles of a club. I'm only joking. They're owned by Ollie Murs, he's co-chairman at Coggeshall Town. So a nice, easy start for the man of huge morals. They lost 3-2. I think that's what you get for sacking all those players.
Yeah. Well,
screw you, Romford FC. Peak of my weekend is seeing you get beaten by Coggeshall Town.
yeah.
Definition of hubris.
Yeah. The only thing I ever knew about Romford is the dog track. That's when it was like
Ray Parlour.
Ray Parlour, the Romford penalty. Highlight of my weekend was Stefanos Tsitsipas. He won the ATP Finals last night, so got the better Dominic team. He'd obviously beaten Federer in the semi-final as well. First of all, tennis needs someone new. Men's tennis in particular. How much longer can we keep knocking out the three lads? Andy Murray's gone as well, so good to have a new guy coming on. But aside from that, he's and I hate to say this, but he's not your average media managed sports star.
Go on.
He's kind of like. He's really kind of bohemian, and he's got a travel blog, and his Instagram's kind of interesting. He doesn't seem to be friends with the rest of the locker room.
Okay.
So so his interest in this Greek guy. It's only his first time in the ATP Finals last year. He won it as an underage. His trajectory's been absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, he had some really big performances at majors this year as well. So Stefanos Tsitsipas.
So we can get behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think crucially the fact that he's a travel vlogger and stuff like that as well just makes him a little bit more interesting. Yeah.
He's not just
I don't really care about the future of tennis.
Right. What have you got for us on?
Have you got no peak?
Look, multiple peaks, but they were too difficult to source.
Are we bypassing the peak bus for this week? My pit this week, and I think everybody can get behind me in this, is just Denmark in general. The idea that and it's not only tonight. Tonight's going to be tonight's great, and I'm really excited for the game. But the whole pit was the weekend, just thinking about Denmark again. When I was the Denmark fans, for example, we had them here. This is the last time. This is us outside the ground. Last time, this is Joe filming this footage. But they're not great fans. They were kind of patronising. They were chanting to the Irish fans outside Slattery's there. There you can hear it. Stand up for the boys in green, coming from the Danish fans after they smashed you 5-1. Screw you, Denmark. Everything about Denmark is terrible. Food is terrible. The only good food that's ever come out of Denmark is Danish pastries. You can get them in Duns and they're just as nice as they are from Denmark. The Little Mermaid is shite. Terrible statue. Statistically the worst statue that exists all around Europe. People are fairly snobbish. I think we were speaking about them earlier on, but Casper and Peter Schmeichel are the exact bastions of Danish society. The Winklevoss twins really kind of drive you up the walls and kind of sum up a country that is just...
Were they even Danish?
A desperate excuse for a country, I think. And the sooner we see the back of Denmark in all of our lives, the better, to be quite honest with you. So, Denmark. It's my pit.
The Wigglebutt twins were Americans.
I know that, but like,
Yeah, they do. I know what you're saying. I totally get it. Yeah. My pit is Saracens as victims. Saracens now,
Good shout.
despite relentlessly rule breaking the salary cap, and now obviously they have £5.4 million fine, 35-point penalty. Obviously have to prioritise, staying in the Gallagher Premiership. But a narrative seems to have emerged where, oh, everyone's out to get us type thing. It's like, well, hold on. Like, it was perfectly acceptable like a week ago to hate Saracens, but now it's like, no, Saracens have just drawn in, and they've got quite a few English rugby commentators going, oh, look at the plucky British spirit of Saracens.
Hear,
And you're
hear.
like, oh, seriously, don't break the rules and you won't be in so much trouble. But
I can't read Stephen Jones
yeah,
because I'm blocked.
I'm too. I couldn't get it either.
But it keeps getting retweeted into my timeline for people who will screen grab it and share it around. And apparently he was giving out about people giving out about Saracens. He was like, wait till the full story comes out, basically.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, there's a little bit of there's
not
a little,
appealing now.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that from Mark McCall's very tight interview he gave to BT Sport, where he didn't say massive amount in 22 and a half minutes. Could you tell I listened to every word of it? But yeah, he was saying, oh, well, there's more to it than it seems. It's like, well, there's been a full investigation. There's been penalties, and you're not going to appeal it.
Tell everybody what more there is to come.
Yeah,
because if the allegation is that everybody else is doing it, we're the only ones who were stupid enough to get caught. Well, then say that.
Yeah.
Like, make that be public, and maybe that at some point you can actually have some sympathy for the fact that everybody else is doing it, and they're the ones who are being the fall guys. But when you've won as much as they've won, and it turns out that you've been creating these businesses.
Yeah. Well, they were dislikable enough before they broke the rules.
They were pretty dislikable. Like, we should not forget that.
They call themselves the Wolf Pack. That's and all the high fives after making tackles and stuff like that. Yeah, I think we should just relish the Saracens downturn for a little while, because it's probably not going to last that long.
They're basically the South Africa of England, essentially, in terms of
likability.
how you exactly.
just without the World Cup winners medals, am I right?
So give me predictions for tonight.
1-1.
It's always 1-1, isn't it?
It is always 1-1, but like surely we're not going to be.
Do you want a correct prediction, or like 1-1 is the correct prediction?
Okay, well, you were both talking yourselves into how we're going to win this game. Like
I know,
at the start of the show
by
2 hours ago.
kickoff, we're going to win 2-1.
I'm Irish. I'm an Irish supporter.
Right. That is our lot. We're live from the Aviva tonight with full commentary of Ireland's almost make-or-break tie against the Danes. Back at 7:30 tomorrow with the fallout from the match in the company of Kenny Cunningham, set to make his hotly anticipated return to breakfast broadcasting. You can podcast this show, fully timestamped, so you can flick through it if you want to go a la carte. We're on Spotify, we're on wherever it is that you get your podcast. The best place to get your podcast these days is the Go Loud app, or on offtheball.com/podcast. We're also on YouTube. You can subscribe when you're there, and you can Chromecast that, or you can get OTB on your smart TV or on Apple TV. And OTB Sports Radio is live all day, every day via the Go Loud app. We'll see you tomorrow.